After the Shinigamiosaurus incident, Project Prehistorica was put on hold and Dr. Redwood was devastated. Many creatures have gone extinct, and he almost ended the experiment right there. He took a break from the project for about a week to think things over. He really wanted to give up, but something urged him to keep going. He had spent years trying to make his dream of various creatures coexisting with one another a reality, and he wasn't ready to give it up just yet. About a week later, he resumed the experiment. By then, the planet was flourishing again, and everything was back to normal. Well, almost. One day, Dr. Redwood was watching a pack of camoraptors ambush a Paracapricornus. As the camoraptors were about to strike, a medium-sized predator, a little smaller than the Diablosaurus, leaped out of the bushes and brought down the Paracapricornus. Soon it began to fight the camoraptors for the food until they eventually retreated. The creature then let out a loud roar in victory. At first, Dr. Redwood was confused and thought the creature was a new, undiscovered one. However, as he took a closer look, he nearly fell out of his seat in horror, for it turned out to be a surviving Shinigamiosaurus. Terrified, Dr. Redwood waited for more to appear, but to his surprise, they didn't. He continued to watch the way this specimen behaved, and came to realize that this Shinigamiosaurus wasn't hunting for sport like it normally did. It was fighting for survival. He came to the realization that this specimen was the last of its kind, and because it was alone, it couldn't mass hunt like it could when it was in a pack. This gave him an idea. He began to contact the Magnusians and told them about the Shinigamiosaurus. At first they panicked, but Dr. Redwood calmed them down and told them about his plan. They were skeptical, but they reluctantly agreed and sent a group down to capture the Shinigamiosaurus. Finding the creature was pretty easy. The hard part was capturing it. The creature fought pretty hard and killed a few members of the group, but it was eventually captured and taken back to the city. They put it in a large enclosure, large enough for the creature to run around in, and Dr. Redwood told them to study the creature for science purposes. He nicknamed the creature Nightblood because of its black and red color scheme. The Magnusians would take care of Nightblood while Dr. Redwood ran a series of behavioral tests. First, he had the creature kept in the enclosure until it felt comfortable where it was. Nightblood attempted to escape a few times, but he failed to do so. Redwood made sure that the Magnusians took care of the creature while he conducted the tests. After a few days, Nightblood became more calm and comfortable in the enclosure, allowing Dr. Redwood to run the tests. For the first test, he had the Magnusians collect a sample of Nightblood's DNA and ship it back to Earth. It was a very difficult process, but they managed to get the sample. Once it was shipped to Earth, Dr. Redwood tried to modify the genetic code in an attempt to create a more tame and docile Shinigamiosaurus. After many failed attempts, he managed to create an egg. He ships the egg back to Magnus, and then he asks the Magnusians to hatch the egg and raise the new specimen to adulthood. Once it was fully grown, Redwood had the Magnusians throw it in with Nightblood. The new specimen tried to communicate with him, but he just attacked her, forcing the Magnusians to build a fence between the two. They put an electric fence in the middle of the enclosure with Nightblood on one side and the other one, which Redwood nicknamed Blue Claw, on the other side. Blue Claw got her name by the blue claws she has on each hand and foot. Even after the fence was built, Nightblood behaved aggressively towards Blue Claw, while she behaved submissively in return. After a few days, Nightblood stopped attacking Blue Claw, which led Dr. Redwood to ask the Magnusians to get rid of the fence. They do so and try the experiment again. Blue Claw walks slowly towards Nightblood and he growls at her. She tries again to communicate with him, but he wouldn't budge. Blue Claw then tries another method by dancing in front of him, and to the surprise of Redwood and the Magnusians, it was working. The dancing was calming Nightblood down, and he soon joined her. After a few days, the two began to bond and, dare I say it, fall in love. Dr. Redwood was not only touched by the romance, but he was also happy that the experiment succeeded. However, the celebration was interrupted by an attack from a Mortem Supremus. The Magnusians tried to fight it off, but it was too powerful. Then Dr. Redwood had an idea and told the Magnusians to release the two Shinigamiosaurs. They were skeptical, but Dr. Redwood told them that they were the planet's only hope, so they reluctantly released the two specimens. When Nightblood and Blue Claw came into contact with the Mortem Supremus, they immediately attacked them. With the combined forces of the Shinigamiosaurus, they managed to bring the beast down. Afterwards, the two decided to make a run for it while they were still free. The Magnusians chased after them, but Dr. Redwood stops them and tells them to let the two go, for they have fulfilled their purpose and he has completed the experiment. Years pass and he checks on the two specimens. Their love is stronger than ever, and they have 4 kids of their own at this point, bringing them back to 6 members. However, the difference was they weren't attacking anything for sport, but to feed their young. Dr. Redwood was successful in taming the Shinigamiosaurus. He was able to not only save a species from extinction, but he also gave the Shinigamiosaurus a proper place in the ecosystem.